mic wasn't on. Got it. Let me turn my mic over here. All right, so here we go. Now that's much better. Sorry for the noise. So this is impromptu, so that's why there was no sound. Because I haven't been on for so long, I forgot how things were supposed to be set up. So, hold on. Let me just make sure this is straight. Oi! I can't make it straight. All right, there we go. All right, impromptu. So if you are new to the channel, sometimes I come on impromptuly because I'm so busy right now, but I had some stuff that I wanted to do, so I just decided to come on and chat a bit with you all, and because that's how I roll. I was supposed to come on last weekend and I did not. So it's hard for me to schedule things right now because I am so busy. So I was watching a little bit of the Disney Channel and trying to get me a fire going in my fireplace, even though it's like 70 degrees outside. And I decided to just do, some busy work stuff. So I need to cut some things with my scan and cut. So I thought I would come on and do that with you all. So, and I have a bunch of papers to cut. So I'll try to kind of show you all on my desktop in a moment as well. And also, if you love junk journaling like we do, this channel is all about junk journaling, and you can head over to our Facebook group, which is Junk Journal Buddies, and you can join us there and share what you do and also get some more tips. And if you have questions, you can post your questions there as well. And I also invite you can come chat with me today because I love chitty chatting. My videos are always chitty chatting type of videos, but hopefully I'll be able to share some things that will inspire you as well. And so let me just go ahead and get this show on the road. It's a beautiful Saturday. Me and my mom went out a little bit earlier and did some stuff, and now I'm back. And so now I just want to kind of get this going. I think everybody is out doing some Christmas shopping today, but you can always watch on the replay. All right, so I have all of these papers that I need to cut. These are actually, they're not digital kits, but I'm going to be turning all of the kits that I do that I actually cut, I'm going to turn those into digital kits. So pretty soon these will be digital kits as well. But for now, I just had some that I had printed out, and while I was organizing, I found them and I was like, oh, let me go ahead and cut those. So after like these are sold, I'll probably only have these up as a digital kit, but you can still buy like the physical products as well. So I have an upgrade where you can get the print and cut sent to you. So I did put on here that this was a Brother Scan and Cut tips as well. So I'll try to let you all know what I'm doing while I'm doing it, because I think it's a little bit unorthodox the way I'm cutting things too. And I have my scan and cut right next to me, so I'm going to see if I can kind of, it's a little bit of a funky angle, but I have to do it this way or else y'all won't get to see nothing. Okay, so this is my scan and cut over here. Y'all put like butterflies on it. Put butterflies on my skins and cut. And you can see it a little bit. I'll try to bring it over. Let's put you guys down here out the way. Let's bring the scan and cut over a smidge. And I already loaded up this board. So the first thing that I always do, hey bevies, how are you doing today? The first thing I always do is I always change my blade depth. So I do that ahead of time. So, and it was on like a 6, so it would have cut right through the mat. And hello there, Patty O. How are you all doing today? We are cutting some stuff with a scan and cut. So if you don't have a scan and cut, Y'all, I have a Cricut, and I have to say I use my ScannerCut way more than I use my Cricut now. It's marvelous, darlings. It's marvelous. Yeah, I feel like I haven't done this in a while, but I have. I have done it, and I have like two mats. So I have this mat and I have my other mat, and y'all, my mats are really grungy and dirty. And you can see where it's been. They've been cut through. Oops, I done cut through the mats. There's little holes and stuff. So let's see. And I always keep my tools all together. This is the pouch that the tools came in. And I always try to keep everything together in there. So my trick to keeping all my tools is to make sure I keep them together. So y'all hold on for a second while I should have my glasses on. Review. Put my glasses on. Does anybody else have a ScannerCut, or are you considering getting one? If you have any questions, you can let me know. I actually have an older model, and I don't think they sell this model anymore. They have some newer models, but I think they probably discontinued the older models because they basically almost do the same thing as the newer models. And of course, they were being sold at a cheaper price because, you know, that's how they roll. I was trying to put this stuff on my desk so it would be easy for me to do this. So what I'm doing is loading some more. I'm going to put some more pages on here. Turn this. I'm loading my second mat while this one is cutting. And also, I'll tell you like the process of how I do this. You want one so bad? Girl, I say. Yeah, I got mine on Home Shopping Network. They had it on the Home Shopping Network. And I can't really tell you at that time if I paid like a more of a price than like if I got it on Amazon or whatever. But the reason why I got it on Home Shopping Network because they had Flex Pay at that time. And I didn't have to pay for the whole thing at the same time because, you know, all of these cutting machines are kind of on the expensive end. And I don't use that word lightly expensive, but they are kind of expensive. But if you're going to be cutting a lot of stuff, it's well worth it. Uh-oh. I got stuff coming out because my mat is not sticky, so it's not holding anything. It's not holding nothing, y'all. And I'm not paying any attention to it, so I got stuff flying all over the place. You say you're the Flex Queen, the Flex Pay Queen. That's the only thing that I bought on Home Shopping Network, but I've been tempted because, you know, there's always some gadget. Y'all see my stuff just comes right off my mats because my mats are not sticky. Because this is the thing. This is where I kind of fell down the rabbit hole with Cricut. Which I still love the Cricut and everything. I just don't use it that much anymore. Where I fell down the rabbit hole is buying mats. Because once the mat is not sticky anymore, you can re-stick it. But in my opinion, sometimes it's just worth it to just buy new mats. So I have all these Cricut mats. And I didn't want to fall down that same rabbit hole with the ScannerCut, right? So I do have quite a few mats and whatnot, but I try to I'm going to use these old mats until the wheels fall off, and they're old and grungy. What am I going to do with this? Let me put my trash can over here. Wait, y'all hold on for a second. Let me grab my trash can because I have moved it. Okay. So I decided I was going to use these mats until the wheels fell off. So right now they have like no stickiness, but they still cut okay. But the only thing is when they're not sticky, you have to really kind of watch what you're cutting, or else your cuts will be all messed up. And a good tip is after you use your mat is to clean it off with a baby wipe, and that works good too. However, these they've been used like to death, but they still work fine. But if I have something that's really intricate or real small, I always use a sticky mat. So I have a sticky mat on the standby for this. Yeah, they don't carry the old models anymore. This one is a CM350, and I know they don't carry them anymore. You may be able to find them like on eBay. Maybe somebody is trying to get rid of theirs. Because I'm going to tell you, when I first bought mine, I bought it on Shopping Network, and when I got it, I was so excited, and I didn't have a clue how to use it. And of course, I just opened it up and tried to start using it. I cut my mat all up because I didn't know that I should be, like, I didn't know about the blade levels and all that, and I got mad. And then I just put it on the shelf, and it stayed there for like a year and a half. I didn't touch it. And then on YouTube, I saw somebody using their scan and cut, and I was like, I'm gonna try it again. And they gave some good tips about it, and I have been off and running since then. Get my next pages here, and this is like one of the first little kits that I made too. I love this kit. So with these non-sticky mats, I just use tape around the edges to try to keep everything. But again, you got to kind of watch it because your stuff will be flying all over the place. It'll get kind of cut up. But overall, it still works great. I have tried to re-stick the mats also, and that worked too. But just like with the original stickiness of it, it doesn't last long. So that's the frustrating thing, that I guess they actually can't make the mats too sticky, because then your paper would get like permanently stuck to your papers. But after a few cuts, your mat is not going to be sticky anymore, unfortunately. That's funny. You're the flex pay queen. So you make me want to go shopping on Home Shopping Network, because, you know, I still got my card. But I'm also trying to get out of debt too, so let me not go that route. Let's not go that route. Alright, so I got this one. Y'all look at these big old pieces. These originally, when I was selling them, the pieces were they weren't a lot smaller, but they were smaller than this. And then I made them bigger, and they just kind of were ginormous. I love them though. I might use some of these in my junk journal. I need to get some of my cello bags out so I can pack those up too and put them away. You're on a fixed income. But you know, I just feel like sometimes I just want my crafting stuff. You know what I'm saying? I use it. It's not like I'm buying stuff that I'm not using, right? Oh, that's the one kit right there. All right, hold on here. Hold on, let me get my let me start the scanning first, and I'll tell you how I scan this. Hold on. I just had to get some bags here so I won't get things mixed up, because I have quite a few of these kits here. So I'll just make sure they don't get all mixed up, because that's one. So that's one with a whole bunch of pieces in it. I tried to put like a lot of pieces in each one, but at some point it's not cost effective to like put 550 pieces in a bag. can't do it that way. I think that's the downfall of some Etsy shops. They don't feel like they can charge higher prices, and so they charge prices so low that they don't make any money on their stuff, which doesn't make any sense. Instead of trying to find a way to make things in a less expensive manner, not cheap, because I don't use that word lightly either, but in a less expensive manner so they can have higher margins. And when I first started doing this, that's what was happening. I was working my butt off just to do like something like this. I didn't have a scan and cut. I did have the Cricut, but it was like labor intensive work, and I was like, you know what? I'm doing way too much. But I have since found a way to do things in a better manner. But I guess that's how you have to do it. It's all about business. That's the business side of things. Sometimes people don't want to hear the business side. That's the business side of things. Especially with this pandemic, I always think of, like, when I'm going to business and stuff, I always think about like the business side of things. But you know, of course, I'm in no position to help anybody. You do need to put your junk journal stuff in your shop, girl. Put it in there. And don't think that your stuff is not good enough. Trust me. It probably is. Yeah, I think people that make junk journals and handmade craft, people that make handmade crafts will never get their money for what they do. But they love what they do. I love what I do and stuff, so I don't expect to like get 100% of my money back for what I do, and because it's a lot of hours doing a junk journal. I hear you for sure, but it's just all about knowing. It's all about knowing your worth. So don't put your stuff up for $10. That's all I'm saying. Do not put your stuff up for $10. Don't put your books up for $10. Because that's a lot of work on it in those books. For sure. Like even doing something like this, you see it takes a little bit of time to do. And then you also have to take into account the time it took you to design things. Just designing stuff takes you time, and then putting it together, and then listing it in your shop, and taking photos, and all the things you have to do to promote your stuff, and all that stuff takes a lot of time. Get off of here. Believe it or not, I have a lot of things up in my shop right now, but I have a lot of things that are not up in the shop, and it's finished. So you are not alone. I have a lot that needs to I just need some things. I already have photos and everything, and they're still not up. But I think it's something mental within myself where I'm not listing everything that needs to be listed, and that's something I have to work through myself. I might need a therapist for that, but I definitely have a lot of stuff that is not up in the shop, so I understand for sure. But you should definitely. But do you have a shop? You got your shop up, Bevies? I'm gonna have to go look at your what do I do? Get this out of the way. Let's finish. All right, so let me show y'all. I'll show you on the next one how I scan this. And the scan and cut is so simple to use. And I am not getting paid by Scan and Cut, by Brother. But I have quite a few Brother products and I love them. They have good customer support too. if you need it. It has pins and charms and paper clips at the moment. Girl, put all your junk journal stuff in there. Put as much stuff in there as you can stand. Trust me. I used to have over 300 products over in my shop, but I took some of them down. But believe me. Okay. I'm gonna go check it out. Let's see. I can do that now because we're just chatting. Let me go do that now. I'm gonna go take a peek. Pasting your shop name in. Da 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 da. She loves planners. Girl, you need to load your shop up. Load your shop up, girl. I like your paper. See, I'm supposed to be paying attention to this cutting while I'm going online shopping here. Let me get my next board ready. It's also a good tip too, if you have a lot of things to cut, is to have at least 2 mats. So while one is cutting, you can get your other mat ready. And if you have like a ton of stuff, you probably need 2 machines. But again, I wouldn't buy 2 machines unless I was really like having to cut like a lot of stuff. So right now, I mean, I have a lot of stuff to cut, but not enough for me, in my opinion, to justify 2 machines. But I could get there. I could get there, because that would be awesome. Actually, I've changed my room around, and I have it where I could have like 4 machines. I have the space now. Let me put these up. You have a silhouette. You know, when I first started doing planning, that's when I bought my Cricut, because I just wanted to make stickers for myself. I've never had stickers up in my shop. I never wanted to do a sticker shop because I could never get things lined up right to sell stickers. Well, I can now, but then I couldn't. But I never did the sticker thing, so I had a Cricut. But there's a lot of things that the Silhouette can do that the Cricut couldn't do. And I kind of wanted that. Let me turn this volume down just a little bit, I think. There we go. And so I never ended up getting the Silhouette, which is probably a good thing, because I told y'all I'm a gadget girl. I have all kinds of gadgets. It's crazy. You said it never cuts right. The Silhouette doesn't cut right. It's for real though. The reason why I probably don't cut right is probably us. It's not the machine. Oh, you say you can't stand it? See, you gotta watch a lot of videos and stuff. Get that stuff right. Okay, so I'm gonna show you what I did. So what I did on here is I taped all around, and sometimes I don't do that much, but this is like really, there's no stick on this mat at all. So I made sure I didn't take like a whole line of tape, because that would be a waste of tape. I took some little pieces and I put them around the edges. Let me see if I can make it kind of straight for y'all. So I put a piece here, a piece here, a piece here, one here, one here, one here, one here. And then that's what I did. And of course, before I cut anything, again, I check my blade. And I think the new machines, they will automatically check the thickness of your papers, and it'll pick the correct blade setting. But this one is manual, and it's fine. And since I've been doing it this way, I don't know if I would want the machine to pick my cutting. And then let me see if I can pull this in a little bit so you can see. So here, wait, let me start from the beginning here. Sometimes if I can't get this to read right, I just turn the machine off and then I turn it back on. and then that helps it to recognize what's on here better. So right now I have it like recognizing this as black and white image, but sometimes it's better if I use color. But right now I'm using it as black and white because it recognizes things faster. It'll probably take the machine maybe about a minute and a half to recognize a color photo, whereas a black and white, it will recognize it faster. And I know that might not make sense, but if you have a Brothers, then you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm going to pick direct cut on here because I wanted to scan this and then cut it. And then I pick like the Brother machine on here. And it's in black and white mode, and I just tell it to start. Oh, somebody bought you this, girl. Learn how to use that machine. Somebody bought that for you. That's awesome. I probably could finagle people to buy a machine for me. But I think I have all the machines that I could use right now. I would, there is a machine that I would like, and that's the Big Shot, because it has a wider die cut bed. I want the wider bed because I have the Vagabond and it's not that wide, and then I have like the little bitty what they call it, Sidekick, which I got the Sidekick at a thrift store for $5. So y'all know I had to bring it home with me, and it's okay, but it's alright. Alright, oh, I didn't tell y'all what I was doing. So I know it's hard to see on the screen here, and I can't really move the camera. Excuse me. But what it does is scans the whole thing, but you don't want it to cut like your whole sheet. You only want it to look at this where you have your images at. Otherwise, if you have like little pieces of crap on your mat, it'll cut that and it's going to cut your mat. So you don't want it to do that. So you have to like kind of change where it's just pull it in so it's only looking at the part of your mat that has the images on it. So I hope that makes sense, because I'm talking in Liz language now. And then you hit the preview, because this is pretty straightforward and simple. And then so now it's thinking, and it gives you like a preview of what it's going to cut, and everything looks good. And I just say okay, and then you hit cut, and then you say start, and it tells you how long it's going to take. It takes like 2 minutes. It's going to take 2 minutes to cut this paper. So, which is nice, because it really doesn't matter if they tell you or not. It used to didn't tell you how much time it's going to take, but after they had a firmware update, it tells you, and because it just takes as long as it's going to take. But if you have a business and you're cutting things, the time that it cuts, it helps you to know if it's cost effective to make pieces and cut them. So if you have a business, then you already know, calculating how much, time it takes you to do stuff and what the cost is of that. So that's kind of nice to have the time to help you to figure out, is it worth it to print and cut pieces, and how much you should charge. I'm talking Etsy, talking e-commerce stuff now. Talking e-commerce. I hope the angle isn't too wacky for you all. Oh, I should be getting my next paper ready too. So I'm just taping it down. I know you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm taping the paper down to my mat, so I can continue on. And I also, every now and then, I have to take any additional tape off of here, because sometimes some tape gets stuck. So before I came on, I had to scrape a whole bunch of tape off my mats. I usually put my papers in the same place. And what's nice about the Brother Scan and Cut too, you can do any kind of paper. These are all on cardstock, but sometimes I just do regular paper too. Alright, let's get all this stuff off of here. Oh, y'all know what I watched last night? That which I didn't even know. I was looking on Disney Plus for just to see if they had anything on there to watch. Excuse me. And I noticed they had Milan, and I was like, oh, because, you know, they had Milan up there, but they had it for like an extra price for a while when it first came out. But now you can watch it if you have a Disney Plus regular subscription. So I was like, ooh, I want to watch it. I'm excited. So I watched me a little Milan last night. I don't have any kids, but this Milan is definitely, hey Rachel, this Milan is definitely not a kid's movie. And it's not because it doesn't have any sex. And the violence is not, I mean, it's fighting violence. But you don't really see like any blood and gore or anything like that because it is still Disney. But I enjoyed it. I did. Alright, let's put the next page in. It's ready to go. My blade looks good. And then I'm just clearing out what I had before. I'm going to tell you something I tried to do with this too, to make things faster. So I would print like this page, and I would print like a whole bunch of these pages. I was like, I could print things in advance, which would be kind of cool. And so what I tried to do is put the paper in the same spot every time and just use what it recognized before and just recut. Child, I messed up so many papers doing that, because if you just shifted just a little millimeter, the second cut is not going to be right. So I just let it do the full process for each sheet. Because, you know, these are not really like commercial machines. So they're not made to do a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. So how are you doing, Rachel? What you up to today? I'm still doing some organization in my craft room. It's looking really good in here, and I'm not having any problems finding anything. You know how people say once they clean up or they organize their craft room, they can't find stuff? I'm not having that problem, because I put stuff where it made sense instead of just putting things away. So in the past, when I was like cleaning up and putting stuff away, I was putting stuff away, but I wasn't putting things where it makes sense. Now, that's the trick, and nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about putting things where it makes sense to you, not to other people. Because I watched like a whole bunch of, you know, craft room tours and stuff, and I picked up a few ideas. And y'all, I always watch the craft room tours where the people have like a whole lot of stuff and things don't match. Those are the best ones, because those are the ones that are really creative, and they tell you like they give you like some of the best ideas. Because sometimes the ones that have like the all white rooms and everything is all marked and everything, I mean, this stuff looks pretty and stuff, but it don't work out for us that have like a bunch of stuff, which I still think I don't have as much stuff as a lot of the craft room tours, the people that I've seen. But sure, I don't think so. What y'all think? Well, y'all don't know because y'all ain't seen my room yet. Y'all haven't seen it. Y'all, my fireplace is getting on my nerves. I've been trying to start a fire for 3 days, and I cannot get a fire going, and I don't know why. It just went out again. I'm over here burning up trying to start a fire. Because it's fun to watch. Oh, it didn't go out. It's back up again. Because one reason why I moved my desk around is because I wanted to see my fireplace. Because I have my back to the fireplace. And I haven't fired up my fireplace like in about 5 years. And it was kind of funny because You know, in the fireplace, there's like a the flute, and you have to open up the flute so the smoke will go up. And since I haven't opened it up in a while, I opened it up and like all this, it was like a movie. All this soot came down, it was like, and it wasn't like really a big plume of soot, but it was a little plume of soot, and it had some leaves. And I was like, how did these leaves get in here? But I just had to laugh because it's been that long since I used my fireplace. So I was like, I hope I can still use it, which I have. Yeah, I didn't have my next piece ready because I was jibber jabbering. So I'm getting my next piece ready. So I think I just have a few more sets of this. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna move this back some. So I got some space on my desk to do this. And then I can move on to my next set. This tape's real good. The tape that I had originally been using was like some invisible tape, like the Scotch invisible tape. And then, but now I finally got a tape holder. So I got this tape holder, and the tape I'm using is old because I've had these rolls of tape for a while, and they still stick. They stick so good. Almost too good. So I have to be careful where I put the tape at. I don't know why they stick so good. I don't know. They just do. Alright, so let's clear this. Load Z-Mat. I see people who do like the sticker shops and stuff, and they have like 5 and 6 Cricuts, and I'm like, man, their life would be much easier if they just used the scan and cut, because you just print it and cut that stuff. And it works independently from the computer. I don't have to have it on the computer, so I can take this in the kitchen if I wanted to. And actually, it doesn't live here on my desk. I actually have another spot across the room where my scan and cut lives. So that's nice. It doesn't have to be next to the computer because, you know, I have so much stuff plugged into my computer as it is. So it's nice to not have to have it plugged in. Y'all haven't used my Cricut in so long, no. I just want to use it just to make sure I still know what I'm doing. I probably have to update the software because that's how long it's been since I've used my Cricut. But I don't think I need a silhouette. And I'm learning how to design stuff more just using Photoshop. So sometimes we become dependent on, you know, outside softwares to do stuff. But, and then, because I do a lot of stuff in Canva as well. I love Canva, but I think a lot of the things I do in Canva I can probably just do right on my desktop. Alright, got my next sheet. It's already. These don't come off, and I still just have to put some of this stuff away as well. I talked about it before, but I think the biggest hurdle that I have with organizing my stuff, and I still have things to organize, like I have a whole bunch of stuff behind me that I want to try to reconfigure how to put together, and I haven't figured out how I want to do it. But my biggest hurdle is having just a whole bunch of bits and pieces of stuff to put away. it's a killer. So I'm finding ways that are working better for me now. When I first started doing junk journals, the biggest hurdle was like storing papers, figuring out where to put papers at. And it probably took me a few years before I figured out what worked for me as far as storing the papers. Because, oh my goodness. Y'all know, if y'all do a lot of collaging and junk journals and stuff like that, I think any type of paper crafting, storing papers is a friggin' nightmare. It's a nightmare, especially those 12 by 12 pads. And I don't have any room for any more 12 by 12 pads, so I decided I'm not gonna purchase any 12 by 12 pads anytime soon. Cause I'm just like, I don't have space at this moment for 12 by 12 pads. Alright, we got another one that's ready to go. But I notice sometimes the blade will shift too. So every now and then I have to go in and adjust. Hey, excuse me. I hit the wrong button. I hit the load button, well, the unload button. More set of these. Y'all hold on one second, sec. Hello? Okay. That's my mom. I told her I was on a live stream. She sounded a little bit disgusted, but she's like, ugh. Okay, bye. Because my mom, she likes for me to tell her like exactly when I'm going to be on the live stream. She's like, oh, you do this every day at this time? And I'm like, no. Well, what time you do it? When I feel like it. Well, what time is that? She always wants me to tell her like an exact time of when I do stuff. And I'm like, I'm not that kind of girl. I don't know exactly right now. I just gotta get her done. This is part of my organization though, because I had the stuff that needed to be done. I also set a goal to use my planners more, but yeah, this is what I did with my planner. I used to use like a whole bunch of different planners, but this year going into 2021, I'm gonna use one planner. I'm gonna use my traveler's notebook, and I'm gonna put everything in there. So if I have to do like different like notebooks and put in my traveler's cover, that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm kind of starting from scratch. There's some tape on here. Got some loose tape. Can't get it. I can't get this loose tape. There we go. So I started from scratch and I put like one thing. Yeah, Franken planner kind of. I put like, I'll show it to you. Where is that? Do I got it over here? Oh, I moved it to the other side of the room. So if I remember, I'll show it to y'all. But I put like what I got a page and it says like planner wish list, like the things I want to put in there. And I'm just figuring out like a layout that's going to work for me. And because I was getting a little bit crazy, but I wasn't really using my planner the way I needed to. And I noticed that I do better when I use my planner. So I want to get back to my planning stuff, but I'm going to do it in a strategic manner. That's how she's going to do it. I'm going to be strategic without franking planning. So not only have I been watching like the craft room tours, I've been also watching people with their planners. All right. Go. Put the second sheet on here. It is, planning is fun too. Hey Kay, or KC. Yeah, you gotta plan strategically. But sometimes we just do stuff, but if you want to be efficient with your time, sometimes you have to do things in a strategic manner. Like now, I knew I had stuff to cut, and I was like, why don't I just come on? I haven't been on in a while and hang with my buddies and kill two birds with one stone. There we go. Kill two stones with one bird. All right, we don't want to do that. Okay. Next one is ready. It's always nice to have the next one ready to go. So I don't know, I'm trying to keep this channel. It used to, y'all, my channel has kind of evolved over time. I don't know how many of you have been on. So I've had this channel since 2013. And at first I didn't really know what the direction of Liz for a Day was going to be. I knew it was just going to be, at first I was not going to do anything strategic for the channel. I just wanted to I just like recording stuff and putting stuff up. Uh-oh, y'all, stop. This is a mess. See, I wasn't paying attention and stuff was going a little crazy, but that's okay. I stopped it before it went too crazy. But I have a piece I don't think I can save. This piece here. A little bit cut. Has one little piece that's cut, but you know what? I might just sell that as a misfit. Sell the set as a misfit, even though they're perfectly fine. So you can do that too if you're selling something in your shop and things are like you have something that you wouldn't like necessarily sell. But it's not that bad. It's completely usable. You can sell it for a reduced price as a misfit. So I'm going to mark this. It's this piece right here. But of course I would do the whole set. And it has just this little bitty cut right here. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see if it's going to focus. See that little cut right there? My rusty hands. So because I wouldn't want to give anybody a piece that I know that piece is not in good shape, so I'll just sell it as a misfit set for a reduced price. Of course, I always want to give people like the best pieces. I have another piece that's a little bit cray, but perfectly fine piece. All right. Let's do the second page to this. All right. Quit cutting. So you can stop this in the middle of the cut instead of it going all crazy, because then paper may get stuck in here. But if I wasn't running my mouth, which I'm not going to stop running my mouth, I would just be watching this. So take a piece of paper, and I'm going to put Misfit on here. So I got my Misfit, and I got this. And get my little cello bag here, or stilo bag. That way I know. And I can put that up as a Misfit. Now there's going to be a lot more things going up over at pleasantcreations.com. Because like I said earlier, I have a lot of things that are made already that are not, they're not in the shop. Even books. It's ridiculous. I need to finish a lot of stuff. So I think my word for 2021 is going to be finish. Finish. That's my word, because I have a lot of things that are not finished. And that's something I can put in my planner. You need to finish. There's not a to-do list, but a finish list. Y'all have a word? Have y'all picked a word for the year, or do you do that? I started picking words for the year, and I like them, but then like in about probably like a week after the year goes in, and I forget that I picked a word. But you know, this time I'm gonna have to post that word up someplace. So it's gonna be finish. Finish, Lizzie, finish. My word for this year was intentional. So, and basically that was when I have a goal, to make sure I have a goal, but not just a goal, but have a plan behind it. And actually, I did pretty good this year with my intentions to do stuff. But I think finish is the operative word, because just like going through everything when I was going through here, because y'all, I hate to like admit it, but I'm kind of a slob. So I wouldn't say I'm a super slob, but I'm kind of a slob. So I'll, you know, things will get messy, and then I'll clean it up really good, and then it'll get messy again. It'll stay that way for a while, and I'll clean it up. And so I just had like all these bits and pieces of stuff everywhere. So I'm trying to make it so things won't get out of control too fast. That's the problem with me. Things just get out of control so fast, and then it's like crazy. Like my little carts behind me, they're out of control right now, but that's because they're in the process of being organized. Alright, so see, all of these are good pieces right here, but they'll go into the Misfit pieces because they're part of a set. Even though I just had one little piece that didn't work out. So I have to make a second listing for that. Alright, what did I do with you? Here you are. Here's my Misfit. I'm gonna worry about this in a bit. Alright. Next. This one, this is from a different kit called Bedtime Stories. And let me adjust this because it has shifted a little bit. Now this one I might have some problems with because I printed a whole bunch of these out, but they weren't really formatted correctly, so I might have to cut these by hand. That's the kind of crafter you are too, girl. Yeah. It's like That's one reason why I haven't done like a craft room tour yet. I could actually do it now. It's still kind of messy, but I don't mind looking at craft room tours where people's rooms are messy, because that's like the real deal. Yeah, I'm gonna show y'all what this looks like, because this is what happens when your stuff is, when you don't have good clear outlines. And it looks like these have good clear outlines, but they don't. So let's see if y'all can see this. Probably this is the best. Let's see. Here we go. So you might have to make your screen bigger to see on here, but it only recognizes it. It's not easy to see on the screen. Let's see if I make it flat. Can y'all see? Nope. The light from the screen is just messing everything up. But in any case, the only thing, so you can see on the screen like all the squares and stuff, but the only thing it recognized, like, I don't even know what that is. Oh, there we go. It recognized, like, it's just like 3 little squares and I don't know, some kind of crappity crap, but I'll show you what it recognized. Unless I like take the camera down, which I'm not. It recognized this piece, and this piece. And then on this, it recognized the lady only. That's it. And the other pieces, it just like, there's just dots and stuff. And that's what happens because these are kind of like gray. And for some reason, it's just not picking them up. And this is also, no, it's fine. Okay, so, and I had it to recognize this in black and white. So let's see if I change this to color. If I can get this. If I can get this to do right. Sometimes if you put it on the color setting, it will recognize it, and sometimes it won't. So we're gonna see what happens. We're going to see what happens. If it doesn't recognize it as color, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'll just cut them by hand because I actually have some of these that are formatted correctly, where it has a good outline. That's the trick with the Brother Scan and Cut. Things have to have a good outline. You can stamp on paper, and as long as it has a good outline, it'll cut the stamps out too. So it's pretty cool. So we're gonna see. Yeah, I was watching on Netflix. I was watching a program about Debbie Reynolds and the chocolate nutcracker. And y'all, I have never seen the chocolate nutcracker. I feel like I should lose my black card. Because I've never seen the chocolate nutcracker. Okay, I did this in color and it sees it, so I can cut it. So sometimes you have to change your settings. Yeah, you can do more than squares. You can do circles and all kinds of stuff. I think mostly everything that I'm doing today. Still have some more pieces and these pieces and cut tabs and all kinds of stuff. All kinds of shapes you can do. Like the Christmas die cuts that I did my die cuts on here, and they're pretty cool. I'm going to show you some of the shapes that I cut. Give me a second and I'll show you. Let me just get my next paper ready. I gotta watch this. It might be time for me to change my blade too. It's looking kind of rough. Getting kind of rough on here. getting the next sheet ready. Give me a second. I'm concentrating, that's why I'm not talking. Scan and cut is cool. Whenever I see people cutting stuff, I'm like, why aren't they just using the scan and cut? They could just use that. Alright, so these cut pretty good. I think this is going to go in my misfit pile though, because the edges didn't cut like I wanted them to. I knew that they wouldn't, but that's okay. Get it off. And I'm going to show you. Let's see if I can find them quickly. Hold on. My Christmas stuff is actually right next to me. But I haven't been in my Christmas thing in a while. Hold on. One moment. Whew. Here we go. Whew. Okay, that was hard work, but not. Because I have my Christmas stuff is organized too. Let me show y'all. I just had to go into the right box. Wait, y'all, I'm sweating. Hold on. I need some air. Just that little bit of movement made me sweat. Because y'all know I got the fireplace going. Even though the fire done went out again. So I'll show you some things. These. I cut these on the scan and cut. You can see that. So those are pretty cool. And hey, junk journal with me. How are you doing today? All right, and these die cuts are actually up in the shop now. Christmas die cuts. So pretty cool. See, look at that intricate shape of the angel. So it cuts shapes too. The trick is, things just need to have a good outline. And after you play with it for a while, it'll be easy to kind of figure it out. These are cool. I love these. But they do still take a long time to cut. To cut and put things together and stuff. Those are cool. Y'all haven't even started. I don't even have a Christmas junk drawer. I don't even know if I'm going to do. I can still do the Christmas dailies and whatnot, but you know. I don't know. I don't know if my heart is into it this year. I don't even have my Christmas journal made yet. My December journal made yet. See, and I did these all with the scan and cut as well. So this has 5 pieces, and I cut all of those separately on the scan and cut. So this is the Christmas countdowns. These are up in the shop as well. It has some sewing and stuff on it too. So I cut the circles, I cut the numbers out, I cut the Santa Claus out, and then this came from the vintage digital kit, digital numbers kit. You can see how those came out. So you can see you can cut like a lot of different shapes with these, and I just kind of stack things, you know. I layered things together, and these are the Christmas countdowns. I love how these came out. I'm just saying, y'all should get you some. Hey Tina, it's okay. I'm probably gonna be on for a little while, so you're not really that late. Okay, so just to let you know that, and I think you can cut like fabric with this too. You just have to have the right blades for it, just like the Cricut. So you can cut fabric, you can cut all kinds of different material. And right now, I just do mine mostly with paper and cardstock and regular copy paper and things like that. So let me put this back, because that's my problem, is I don't put things back. Hold up. I'm okay. She's okay, y'all. Yay, I put it back up. That's one of my issues, is I don't put things back up. She has putting back issues. Okay. Whew, I'm hot now. Are you working on some videos? Yay! See, I'm glad I motivated you. Girl, put your videos up. People are looking for content right now because they're at home too. So, I always watch a lot of YouTube myself. So I'm always looking for, oh, yeah, I'm getting ready to mess up. I'm always looking for additional content myself to watch. Let's see how these are going to come out. If they don't come out right, I'm just going to cut the rest of these by hand, which takes a little while, but you know, whatever. I'm with my friends right now, so we can do some fussy cutting, because they have been formatted correctly now. But these are some old sheets that I had. You know how they say you're leaving money on the table, have like old sheets that's sitting around, like all they need to be is cut so that they can be sold. But no, they're just sitting around, just minding their own business, not doing anything. They're just here, they're just living in my house, not paying any rent. Get it, get it. Oh, get it, get it. Just kind of looking. Okay. The cuts are a little off. Let's do third sheet. I get it, get it. Have y'all been listening to your Christmas music? Do y'all listen to Christmas music? I was telling my mom that there are some other radio stations now. We used to have one radio station that played the 24/7 Christmas music after Thanksgiving. And then they go back to, you know, their normal lineup right after Christmas on the 26th. No more Christmas music. They cut you off at the knees. And I believe they were the only ones in town that was doing that. And now there's some other radio stations that do it as well. And I was telling her, I bet you they get a lot of money in ad revenue because they have an audience that doesn't normally listen to their station will listen to the Christmas music. Like, I turn the Christmas music on and I leave it on that channel until the 26th, and then I want to listen to the radio after that. I was getting ready to say but if I did, I would listen to a different station anyway. Although they do play some good 80s music. And so I always know, like, I have a preset on my radio in my car for that station for Christmas time. So every year all I have to do is hit the button and I'm on that station. I don't have to look for it. Let me out. Which is pretty cool. Okay, I just have to edge these up a little bit. So I've been listening to my Christmas music. Oh, you've been working on some Christmas mini journals. Oh, you're going to use Christmas cards. I probably should use Christmas cards because I have a gazillion of them. Oh no, I moved my trash can away from me. I need to just bring some paper bags in here. I use those for trash bags too, and I'll just take them out. Alright, so that's one set of these. But I just need to go back and put a note. I just need to edge these up a little bit, clean these up just a tidbit. But the preliminary cutting is done. So I'm just going to write edge on it. Y'all have to make notes to myself because I forget stuff in a minute, and then I have to go back. Oh, that's not finished. I got another page that goes in there. And then I have to go back and try to figure out what I did later. I hate that. So I make like 1,002,052.7 notes to myself. Because I know if I don't, I'll be sorry. I got some more that needs to go in here. Let's put that over to the side. I have a few sets that need to be done. If y'all have any questions specifically, well, you have any questions you can ask me, but if you have any questions about the scan and cut, you may ask, and I shall answer if I have an answer. Remove my chat. I can't see the chat. Yeah, I need to go get some new glasses too, but I was trying to wait until, Rono had gone home and left the house, was gone away. But she's still sticking around, but I do need some new glasses. Oh, you're working on Christmas cards. I gotta do my Christmas cards. I got Christmas cards ready. They're like right behind me too, ready to go. I mean, they're not ready to go, but I have my Christmas list sitting on top of it. But they have not gone anywhere yet. I just gotta write them out, which I want to use my Floor on Those digital kit to write the addresses out, but that's going to be for another video, I think, because y'all can stop and go all day long and show y'all stuff. But what did I say my word was for 2021, even though it's 2020? I need to finish what I got. I got a whole pile of papers that need recut. So I can stop. That's the hard part too, right? When you're in the studio and you're like putting things away, you find stuff you want to play with. That's right. Finish. Because when I see stuff I want to play with, it's very hard. Because everything in the crafting studio is fun. So it's like I want to play with that. And you just think of every little piece you picked up. It's like you can think of something that you want to do with it, right? That's how I am. It's ridiculous, but it's a lovely problem to have. Because it doesn't hurt anybody. Alright, so let me get this one going while I take this off. Prepare this board here. And adjust my blade because it has shifted a bit. And scan. I think we all are. We all are like that. I'm going to admit it for everybody. Alright, hold on there. Hold on. I think another problem that I have too is like I get bored real quick when I'm doing stuff. So I'll do things for a little while like this. Like if I wasn't on with you all, I would have probably stopped and started doing something else. So that's part of the issue right there. You get bored and then you start doing something else. And then what do you have? A bunch of projects that are not finished. Y'all remember when I was doing the I'm ashamed to say the little golden book junk journals? I still have those, and some of them, and I think about 2 of them are finished and the other ones aren't, and they just been sitting. I haven't listed them. I'm ashamed to say. Don't ask me why. And then we wonder why we're not making any money. If it isn't fun, you ignore it. Hey, I need to put that on the board. If it isn't fun, I ignore it. I like that. You might see that come up on a digital kit. If it isn't fun, I ignore it. Y'all use a lot of tape like this too. But to me, using the tape outweighs trying to restick these mats or buying a new mat. Which I always have like a mat that's in really, really good condition for my intricate cuts. But for stuff like this, I don't need a really, really new mat. This works just perfectly. And if you have a sharp blade, you don't need like a super sticky mat. But somebody did ask me this before, so just to reiterate, I use a fresh pieces of tape every time, and because if that tape becomes unsticky, it can get stuck in your machine. And I also do not use washi because washi is not sticky enough for this job. In this case, washi is not sticky enough. Ask me how I know, because I've done it before and I had washi stuck in the machine. But I will say with the Brother Scan and Cut, the beauty of it is pretty easy to get stuff unstuck out of your machine. It's not too hard, but you know, I may have been lucky, so I'm just saying. You don't want to get stuff stuck in the machine. So be careful. Be careful, careful, careful. Don't you know? We don't want stuff stuck in our machine because those machines cost too much. Because you don't want your machine to turn into a brick. That's what I call things that don't work anymore. Bricks. An expensive brick. Yeah, it's nice that it doesn't have to be connected. Like, I wouldn't even be, if I wasn't on here with you all, this wouldn't even be on my desk. I would have it over on my shelf that's next to me. I did have it even closer to me because I use my Scan and Cut almost every day. However, with the change of layout in here, I decided that it would be better in a different spot. So I don't know if I'm going to regret that. I did have my sewing machine up here because I use that every day too. Almost. I haven't lately because she's been busy, but everything can't go on the desk. But I tried to put as much stuff as possible next to me. Yeah, it doesn't have to be connected to the computer. And I have kind of a janky network right now. I didn't before. And so I could like even design things in the design space for Brother. And then I could send it wirelessly to the machine. However, I have had to change my router, my computer router, without getting too technical. And now all of my things that were connected wirelessly don't want to be connected wirelessly anymore. So I have an issue with that. But the good thing is the scan and cut, you can load designs that you have on your computer. You can load them into your USB. And so I have a USB that I just plug right into the side when I need to. And it has some of my designs on it. And then I could just pick the designs up off of there. So still, even though my wireless isn't working the way, and it has nothing to do with the machine, it's my household network. It still works out really good for me. And it doesn't have to be connected. You can connect it, but I'm not going to. Because I have too much stuff over here. As it is. Well, I won't say too much. I'm comfortable in my environment. Let's put it like that. And I'm happy. I'm comfortable and I'm happy in my environment. Don't get it twisted, people. She's comfy. I guess that's what it really all comes down to in our studios. Is it comfortable for you? So if it's messy and you're comfortable, then that's good. It's your space. And that's usually how mine is comfy and messy. But right now it's comfy and it's in pretty good working order. So hopefully the way I have things laid out now, it just, I've noticed I have to make it easy to put things away. So I think I've done that. If I have to get up too much, it ain't happening. I'm trying to get all my ephemera and stuff like close to me. And the tools that I use and all the pens and everything that I use. I'm trying to get it close. I had even thought about buying a new scan and cut machine. And y'all see, and I got one that works perfectly. Why would I buy another one? I don't know. Just because I was like, I want a newer machine. Even though it does the same thing. But I probably won't. It's just not cost effective for me to do that. I have to justify my spending. I can't justify that one at all. Of course, I could have like, I could have like double the work done because I could have two machines going at the same time. But I don't often have to do things this way, so that still doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. She's concentrating. Yeah, I was trying to think of like some activities I could do that's Christmas related, that's safe. That's hard to do right now. Yes, I have a Cricut machine that I don't use that much. And it sits right next to this one over on the shelf. I have a Cricut machine, and those are the super electric die cutting machines. And then I have a Vagabond, which does the metal dies, and that one's electric as well. And then I have the Sidekick, which is the little manual handheld one. They're all die cuts. And if you think about it, your punches are die cut machines too. I mean, not machines, but they're die cut handheld apparatuses. Those are die cuts also. So of course I actually don't have a lot of punches. All right, this one is recognizing things in a functified way. Sometimes I can turn the machine off and turn it back on, rescan things, and it'll look better, but if I have to do that too many times, it's just better to just take it off and just cut it by hand. Because like I said, these were not formatted properly to begin with. And I printed out a whole bunch of them before I tested it. So, you know, you get what you get. Go, go, go. And because I'm recognizing it in color, it takes longer. Okay, still not doing it. Alright, so this one I'm going to cut by hand. I'm not even going to worry about it. Because I don't feel like taking all day to get this done. Let's go to the next paper, which is the beginning of the next set. Gotta get it all taped down first. Now I love the Cricut, but I don't know, like all the machines have their pros and their cons. I never had a Silhouette, but I wanted one. Because the Silhouette can do some things that the Cricut can do, and then again, the Cricut can do some things that the Silhouette cannot do. But knowing what I know now, because I bought the Cricut probably maybe about 5 years ago. But knowing what I know now, I probably would never have bought the Cricut for what I use it for. So you have to really think about what your purpose is for a machine, if you know it, because sometimes that purpose don't come till later. So if you know what your purpose is, you have to think about that. And then buy your machine based on your needs. So since I mostly just do cutting like this, the scan and cut probably would be good for me. But I also have learned how to use it really good. So if I wanted to do like stickers and things, I could still do it with this as well. Yep, so I would definitely, if I had to recommend a machine out of all the machines I have, of course. Well, out of the 2 machines I have, because I don't know about the Silhouette, I would go with the scan and cut. The scan, because they all are pricey. But they're just workhorses, so they should be. But I would just get the scan and cut, because you can you can do the stickers as well, because you can still design your stuff. All right, we're gonna use this. You can still design your stuff, and you will be all right. Cut all these pieces by hand, and of course it takes a lot longer to cut by hand, but sometimes a girl's gotta do. Y'all, when I first started doing this is what I would do. I would print my stuff out and I would cut it by hand, and it would be up for sale in the shop. And my prices were almost about the same as they are now. But the thing is, it took me so long to cut these out, because I have some sets of things that are maybe like 7 sheets and they're full of images that need to be cut, and I will cut out all those images, and it will just take me hours. And when you have a business, you don't have hours to do stuff like that. You have to be more efficient, so the machines actually definitely help me out with that. But sometimes you have to do this. Sometimes you got to do it. See, and that's going to be done way before I get finished with this. See, it's done. I mean, it didn't take me that long to cut this, but I'm working on it. Yep, save up your duckies. It's a, you can also, I'm going to tell you, if you want to get some really good ideas of what the Scan and Cut could do, there's a Facebook group, and all you got to do is put in Brother Scan and Cut. And I've actually, like, I've ran into some problems cutting certain materials, and I've went on there and people have helped me to resolve the issue. And you can also get some ideas of things that you can do with your scan and cut. And Cricut is the same way. There's a Facebook group out there for everybody. But the scan and cut ones, it can cut vinyl and all that stuff. So you hear about people cutting vinyl a lot with the Cricut and the silhouettes, but the scan and cut can do that too. And one reason why I got the scan and cut and I liked it over the Cricut is that it scans your document, whereas the Cricut, you have to have things loaded in their design space in order to cut it. It's a little bit of a process with the Cricut, and you can look that up. I actually have some videos on the Cricut too, on the Cricut also, put it like that. And these go here. See how long it took me to do that? I think these are okay. Yep. So, yeah, having to just, like, I can just print it and then put it in here. So I can print off a whole bunch of them and just, like I did, and just cut them. And that made a difference. These are so cute. With my dry mat. My mat, just looking at my mat makes me sad. It's so, like, grungy. And I have cleaned it up and everything. They just get dirty. I don't know why. And I keep them inside of a drawer too. But they still... At first I tried to keep them like in the plastic that they were in. But I'm not that kind of girl. And plus I use them all the time. I use my mats all the time. And yesterday I put all of my Cricut mats together. I didn't realize how many I had. And I just did not want to throw any of my mats away. Because I'm like, there has got to be a way to reuse. You can reuse the mats, but you have to restick them. Which is pretty easy, but still a little time consuming. But I'm like, I've been trying to figure out a way to recycle those mats. Probably can use them like cutting boards. I didn't think about that. I mean, you know, like a craft cutting mat. Because that's all they are. But when I figure it out, I will let y'all know. But when I was putting them all together, because that's another thing. Like, I had like some mats over here, some mats over there. I had some hanging on the side of my desk. I had some in a drawer. And then I finally got them all together. And then that's when I figured out how many I actually had. Which I didn't count them, but I have probably more than 10 Cricut mats. Too many. And they're all different kinds because, you know, they have the sticky, the not so sticky, and they have the really strong ones, and they have the ones for fabric, and they have like the really long mats, and they have the really short mats. It's a ridiculous amount of different mats you can have. I think they might have some long mats for this one too. You have to be careful when you buy extra mats and make sure you buy the correct ones, because the machine reads all this information that's on here. It reads it. So if it's not the right mat, it's not going to work. So you want to make sure you have the right mats. But mats come with it. So I think, well, a mat will come with it. But I say it's always good to have at least like 3 mats. So one that you only use for special occasions. And then grungy mats like this. And you can use 2. Let's get this going in here. I feel like I'm working really slow. Well, I wouldn't really call this work. But I feel like I'm moving slow. Work is a dirty word in here. Because y'all, I love what I do. It's not work at all. It's fun. I just need to finish my fun stuff. That's why finish is my new word, my word for 2021, but I'm adopting it right now. That's it. Y'all, one of my favoriteest Christmas movies is Elf, but now I think you have to have like Showtime or yeah, you have to have like Showtime in order to watch it. Is it Showtime or something like that? But I don't have cable, so I can't watch it. But I do have the DVD, so I have to pull my DVD out so I can watch Elf. But yesterday, I was watching on Netflix, like kind of like the making of Elf, and it was just like I was watching the movie. I was laughing and everything because that's like one of my favorite movies. I'm glad I got the DVD. So I'm like, they've done this for years though. Like It's a Wonderful Life. For a time they will only show it on Thanksgiving, and it was on NBC. So I don't know if it's on the Peacock network or not. I'm gonna have to check because I got Peacock. Peacock is free, by the way. And then you have to. Now, if you want to watch It's a Wonderful Life, you have to. It's gated behind one of those networks and whatnot. And now they did the same thing with Elf, because you used to could watch it like on Hulu and everything else. I have to check and see. Let me check and see if Elf is on Hulu, because it used to be. Let's see, Hulu. Let me get this going first. Y'all don't even know how long I've been on. That's how I've been rolling lately. I'm just like, let me just do what I gotta do. Don't worry about it. So let us see. They have watch parties on Hulu now. That's cool. Let's see. Elf. Gotta spell it right though. Oh, it's Stars. It's not Showtime. You have to have Stars to watch it. Ain't that something? Those dirty dogs. They trying to block my Christmas joy. How dare they block my Christmas joy? Okay, it's good to see you, Casey. I'm glad you were here. Have a wonderful day. I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you. 'Cause I love talking to my junk journal buddies. They done blocked my Elf. You gotta have Stars add-on Hulu to watch. I'm not a happy camper about that. I do like the streaming services because I don't have to pull out DVDs, but I do have some DVDs of my favorite stuff. Just for times when they block all the popular stuff. The dirty dogs. How dare they? How dare they? You're welcome, Casey. I drive my mom crazy when I'm singing stuff all the time. can't help it. I know I'm not the best singer in the world, but I still like to sing. I love hearing people sing, even if they're not good singers, because people are happy when they sing. If you hear somebody singing, even if their voice is terrible, they're happy. So I think they should be allowed to sing. But some grouchy people just can't stand it. They don't want people to be happy. So they want to bully the bad singers. But I don't care. People can bully me because I have a very thick skin. And it won't bother me at all. It won't bother me. Yeah, you're the last one. Gotta concentrate a little bit on this. I have stuff all mixed up. Hey, get off of there. Gonna have to dump my trash can because all these papers in here. It's nice when the mats are not sticky though, because things come up really easy. Because when it's sticky, it's a little bit of a struggle. Alright, over here. Now I'm doing good. I got a whole pile of stuff that is cut already. Oh, wait a minute. Bring it down just a little bit here. Yeah. Y'all, I feel like even though the Christmas season is upon us and we have Christmas cheer and people are generally more happier, I feel like people's driving it gets crazier during Christmas time. Specifically in parking lots. It sounds crazy, but I feel like, I don't know, they drive like crazy maniacs in parking lots. That's been my experience lately. I don't know what made me think about that, but I was in a parking lot yesterday and I don't know, it was just like a full moon. I hear something weird. Uh-oh, I think there's some tape in here. I hear it. Oh, there it is. Always listen to your machines. When they talk to you, they have something to say. I heard something. It was a piece of tape that was sticking up, but I got it. I don't Christmas shop. I haven't Christmas shopped in about 20 years because I don't do Christmas gifts. Oh, you hate the traffic in Tallahassee? Well, the traffic here is not horrible. I guess in parts of Orlando it is, but I mean, I've been other places like Washington, D.C. Oh my goodness. And Atlanta. Woo, child, what you say? The traffic now, that's horrible traffic in both of those places. That would keep me from moving there if I wanted to move. But I think all the big cities are like that though. The traffic is just bad because there's so many people living in the cities. It can't be helped. It cannot be helped. Oh, that's cool. I like the decorating of Christmas, but I haven't even like been putting up a Christmas tree or anything. I thought about putting up a Christmas tree this year, and I'm still thinking on it because I actually have two trees. I have a big tree, which I haven't put up in many, many years because, I'm all about the fake trees. And I have a little tree that has the lights on it already. So I might take that one out because that's easy. It's like a little umbrella thing you put up and plug it in. So I might put that one up. But as far as like I used to do two trees. One was my kid's tree and one was mine. So they got the decorated tree and I got the decorated tree. But of course my children are quite adults now. So they can do whatever they want at their house. And since I don't have any grandchildren coming to my house, I don't even buy my grandchildren presents because I tried to teach them that you should, every day should be like Christmas, Ooh, this one came out looking quite terrible. Let me see if I can fix this. Oh, y'all have two major universities. Oh yeah. So y'all got a whole bunch of kids that don't know how to drive. They just started driving, inexperienced drivers. And then the lawmakers who don't care how they drive because they're not going to get in trouble if they get in an accident anyway. So I get it. Yeah. Guess it just all depends on where you live. Alright, so this one I'm going to have to cut by hand. I mean, I probably could keep trying to get this going on here, but ain't nobody got time for that. So I'm going to cut those by hand. Just so I can keep this show on the road here. Got the Florida State and Florida A&M. I'm nowhere close to the university here, so. And you know what? I would, if I bought another house, I would do things so differently. Like there's just so many things I didn't even think about when I bought my house. I mean, I'm okay and everything, but like I guess that would be one thing that you would want to think about. Do you want to buy a house near a university or in a university city or a military base? You know what I'm saying? Because look what happened to a lot of the cities that were with the military bases, and then the military bases closed, and it's like the city just dies. Because the military people were the people that were bringing in the cash. I'm going to try to scan this one more time before I take it off. Because I'm being lazy. I don't want to cut it. See how this one comes out. Because one thing I should have did was turn the machine off and turn it back on. I feel like that kind of clears things out, and sometimes things will scan better if you turn it off and then turn it back on. I was just thinking of what I wanted to watch next on TV. I started watching Fairy Godmother on Disney. It's like, I like silly movies, but it's kind of, it's a little wacky. So I don't know if I'm going to finish that or not. And I was thinking maybe I would watch something romantical. Like Eat, Love, Pray. I love that movie with Julia Roberts. Y'all, I went to Bali a few years ago. I think in 2012. So it has been, y'all, time flies by fast because 2012 was a long time ago. But it was in 2012 when I went to Bali. And I remember like my driver telling me where they shot the film at, because I was in the same city where they shot the film at for Eat, Love, Pray. Then I was just thinking, all these like rice fields and stuff all look the same. They could be telling me anything, you know. Because, you know, they try to keep you entertained for a tip or whatever. But it's really beautiful country. And there was even an earthquake when I was there. It wasn't big enough where it would like flatten everything, but you could feel it. It actually woke me up because I was asleep. Was I asleep? Yeah, I was asleep. And the building was like swaying. And I was like, oh, uh-oh. Because you know they have volcanoes and stuff like that. But nobody got hurt during that tremor. It was just a tremor. And that wasn't my first time experiencing an earthquake either, because I worked in Afghanistan and I didn't know they had earthquakes there, but they had some big earthquakes there. And I got awakened plenty of times by earthquake. I remember when I first got awakened by an earthquake, I thought somebody was in my room shaking my bed. I woke up, I was like, who's in here? I was like, who's in here? Who's in my room? Because it was, you know, pitch black. But there was nobody there. It was just an earthquake. I'm going to turn this off and I'm going to turn it back on. This is going to pop out. See, I'm getting tired of doing this now. I still have a few sets of things to finish though. I hope y'all can hear me okay, because I know every time I turn my head, it probably gets a little quieter. Because I'm not that close to the mic. And y'all probably don't want me to be, because it'll be closer to this machine. And it's going to be quite noisy. Keep our fingers crossed because I don't feel like hand cutting anything, but I'll do it if I have to. I'll take one for the team. Yes, yes. Put these in backwards. Here we go. Ooh, that came out terrible again. Let's give her one more try. Adjust some things. See how that comes out. I think I'm gonna have to cut it. Dagnabbit. I don't want to load up my next mat while I'm waiting. I probably need to buy some more tape too, because I never want to run out of tape. I'll buy it in bulk. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just order it on Amazon. My mom was looking for like a certain stationery paper today. Alright, this one's not working. Just looking for a certain stationery, and I always want to say, why don't you just look for it online? Instead of running around to all these stores, wasting your energy. But she doesn't want to hear that. She's like, I want to buy stuff from the store sometimes. And I get that, so this time I didn't say anything. But she kind of said it herself. She said, I'll just go on Amazon and look for it. And I know it's bad for like the brick and mortar stores for us to shop online like that, but I mean, it's just so much convenienter because nobody ever have what you're looking for. And you have to run around to 50 million stores. And it's a pain in the tuchus. It's like, I don't want to run around 50 million stores to look for stuff. It would take me 15 minutes to not go any place and just buy stuff online. It's as easy as that. Alright, so it's got to be cut. I mean, I could cut this with the cutting board too, but that takes me even longer, I think, sometimes. Sometimes it's just faster to just cut by hand. Ooh, that came out terrible too. Why y'all coming out all terrible now? Alright. Doesn't want to cut my stuff now. So we're going to have to do a little fussy cutting, folks. Just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to try this one more time. And if it doesn't recognize it, then I shall cut. I feel like my mat went in. Kind of crooked though. I'm only going to try so many times and then I just cut it by hand. My skin and cut. Y'all got like sweat. Ooh, on my brow. Because the fireplace is not, currently does not have any fire going in it. So it's not coming from there. Oh, you know what? I don't have the air conditioning on either. I know you guys are probably saying, air conditioning and fireplace? Yeah. Because sometimes you just need a little fire. I was trying to create some ambiance in here for myself. But I don't have the air conditioning on right now, and I probably should because it's a warm day. And I got all these lights burning and candles and all kinds of stuff. Okay, that worked. See, sometimes you can turn the machine off and then turn it back on and then it'll recognize things the way it should. And sometimes it won't. But it does a fantastic job of recognizing and cutting for the most part. Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna have for dinner tonight. Anybody want to cook me dinner? Oh, I have some spaghetti. I think I'm gonna have some spaghetti for dinner. My mom fixed spaghetti for me and my brother. Okay, so this one is all done. This packety wackety. My bedtime stories to bed. I watch some people's channels and they show like when they're packing stuff and they make it look so easy and everything. Like, it takes me a little bit of time to do all that. They should tell the truth. 2-inch straighter. Let's get this straighter. All right. I have some orders that I have to put together too. But the weekend gives me an extra day to do that because I like to ship my stuff out quickly. So if I haven't been to the post office and somebody orders something that I already have together, I will ship it out the same day. If I have time to put it together, then I'll put it together and then I'll ship it. But since the post office is closed today, I have an extra day to get things together to ship. Okay, that's still quite raggedy looking. Try to give it some extra recognition. Now, what I want to talk about. I know I'm probably boring y'all to tears. All she's doing is taping and cutting stuff. That's it. It's the All About Me show. All about me. Whew. Alright, this one is not going. Let's try turning it around. Sometimes that helps too, for some reason. So that's a tip too. One way, if it doesn't recognize things properly, you can turn the machine off and then turn it back on. Or you can turn it around, turn your mat around. Sometimes relocating things on the mat helps, and sometimes it's just not worth going through all that. Just cut it. Just cut it by hand. Unless it's like a really intricate cut, then you might want to figure it out. I'm just saying. These are not that serious because straight cuts. But if it was like some flowers or something like that, I might try to figure it out. Because I wouldn't want to go through all that. It would just be too much. Let me see how long I've been on. I don't even know. Ooh, 2 hours. Which is fine. My videos have been astronomically long lately. But I did record some junk journal videos. I recorded one yesterday. So those hopefully will have some up this week. I have to do some editing. And see if that worked. Turning it over. So I have some junk journal with me. And there's some ephemera that I need to finish. Y'all know I can start some new ephemera projects really easy. But I actually have some ephemera that's kind of unfinished, so I would like to finish that. Lots of tags and stuff. And what I decided to do too, since I do have so many tags, things like that, is to, and I put them into the junk journals, and also with all my junk journals that I sell, I always put together like an additional ephemera pack with them. So, but I still end up with a lot that are kind of just sitting around. So I decided to put some of the handmade pieces up in the shop also. So you can find that over at pleasantcreations.com. Shameless plug. have that over there also. I think like 3 more sets. 1, 2, 3. This is my photo ephemera pack in the vintage color. I was selling them in some different colors, but they are being discontinued. I'm only going to do the vintage color, and it's going to be a digital pretty soon. So I am phasing them out. Moving on to bigger and better things. Because that's what you got to do. Uh-oh. Oh, I see it. I was going to say, there should be some more of these. But no. So that's the last one in that batch. Now we're on to these. You get quite a few pieces in here. Looks no. All right, that one's not no good to me. It's no good. Do you guys have snow where you're at? Sometimes I miss the snow, but I don't miss the cold. And I definitely do not miss driving in the snow. I never like driving in the snow. It's horrible. I got my root beer in here. Root beer and peach soda are my favorite sodas. Alright, this is no good. Alright, so I'm going to flip this over and try it again. Now, after I get done with these 3, I'm tapping out. Well, I got 3 more sets to do. And then I can tap out because I'm finished cutting them, but I still have to, they're still not packaged up the way they need to be packaged up and put away. So I have to do that too. But that's going to take me a bit to do. So I don't know if I want to tap out on that or not and just sit around and be kind of lazy. I might do some more junk journaling. I might record some more junk journaling process videos. Because I can do that while I'm watching something and being kind of lazy but not. Because I don't know, my kind of lazy is like, this is kind of lazy for me. Like, I'm chatting with you all, but at the same time I have doing stuff with my hands. That's my kind of lazy. Okay, you don't want to act right. It's like all but one piece. Dagging nabbit. I want to be finished with this cut. Okay. Get that cutting. So I've actually been making a list in my planner of things that I'm running across that need to be finished, because what happens is, like, I'll run across things, and of course I just want to stop, and I'm like, okay, I got these papers I need to cut. I should just stop and cut papers. But what I'm trying to do is like block out time to do things. No, these are not collage papers. These are actually these are ephemera that's up in the shop. So I'm just cutting them, so because I just had them laying around, but they just need to be cut and put away. So you'll see some of the images here, and then some of these. I cut all of these within these 2 hours. How you doing today, Maggie? And this is photo ephemera, so it's just pieces of ephemera that come in packs right now, but pretty soon I'm going to be switching all of my physical products, well, not all of them, but some of the physical products to digital products, but they're on the list to get done. Thank you. So I'm just on here, just I had to cut them, and I was like, why shouldn't I be by myself? I want to chit chat with my buddies. So I'm glad you're here, Maggie. I'm doing good. Can't complain. Life is not too shabby here. Oh, I'm gonna take that off. I'm doing a-okay. So I'm just using my scan and cut, and I was answering any questions people have about the scan and cut, because I use it almost every day, and this is not a sponsored video, but it's just something that I like to use to speed things along when I have a lot of cutting to do. As I was saying earlier, I actually used to cut all this stuff by hand, but now I do not. I cut it by hand at first, and then I have my Cricut, and then I will cut it with the Cricut, and then now I use the scan and cut. It's quite helpful. And of course, there's still some processes I have to do manually, but this part is not one of them. The one thing. So I can move my hand out the way. So I just have like a few more papers that I have to do. Yeah, journaling is very relaxing. It's so calming. It makes me happy. I think one thing that makes me happy about junk journaling is that I recycle just a ton of stuff. That makes me happy. Even though it's like such a small amount of stuff recycled, it still makes me happy. Yes, the scan and cut is extremely easy to use. And I'll kind of give you a little bit of what I'm doing right now. I explained this earlier in the video, but that's okay. Hold on for a sec. Let me just stuff away here. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing because it's easy. So I have the images already. I designed them, and so I have the files, and I just print them out on paper. Because the machine it doesn't have to be plugged into your computer. So all you it can sit someplace else. I just have it on my desk because I was just kind of sharing my processes here with you all. And check this out. And then once I print them out, then you put them on your mat. Your scan and cut comes with the mat. But the stickiness, when you're using paper a lot, the stickiness goes away. So my mats are not sticky. So I just use some tape to hold the paper down. This is cardstock, so that's enough to hold the paper down. And then the only thing you need to do is to load the paper on. Wait, let me see if I can pull this over to show. Oh, actually, let's do this. I'll move this over. Move my cam over a little bit. So this is my scan and cut right here. And the angle is hard to show the display, but let's do this. Give me a second. All right, let's move that out the way. And then I'm just clearing off everything that was on here. And then you just load your mat on. And I always make sure that I have the blade where I need to go. And the Scan and Cut, they actually give you recommended blade depths. But if you buy a Scan and Cut now, it'll adjust the blade by itself. But I have an older one. I have the CM 350, which I don't think they sell anymore, but it does kind of the same thing. So if you can get like this one, you would be fine if you're just cutting paper like I am. And so I always make sure the blade depth is correct. And I've tested it and I know what the blade depths I want. But like I said, it comes with a pamphlet and it'll show you the numbers that you need to put it on for your blade depth. So you load your paper in, you have your blade depth, and then what you want to do is you're going to tell the machine to look at what's on the paper. So it's going to scan it into the machine. So that's what it's doing now. And then it's just going to take a moment. I have it scanning it in as a black and white image instead of a color image in this case because it's faster. And then once it does that, then it'll show up on the screen, and then you just kind of tell your machine where to focus at. So I'm telling it to only focus on this because it scans the whole mat, so the whole mat shows up on the display. But I don't want the whole mat. All I want is this where my images are at. So that's what I did on here. And then you tell it to preview. And then once it previews, it'll show you the outline of each piece where it's going to cut. And I just say okay, and then cut. And it tells me it's only going to take 2 minutes to cut this page. So wow, that's the going. So I usually have like 2 mats, and then I can prepare a mat while one mat is cutting, which is what I was doing. And I'm kind of preliminarily packing things up as well as I go. Since I have a few sets of things. And it cuts different types of materials. So if you wanted to do like vinyl, it cuts vinyl. I use it just mostly for paper. Cardstock. You can do thick cardstock. It'll do, it has different blades just like the Cricut does. So if you have something that's deep, you can get the deep blade and the housing for that. And cut thicker pieces of paper or chipboard and things like that. And then that's it. Not too much. Just trying to get these off. And then you have your cut. So it's easy as that. So you print it on your printer because the Scan and Cut doesn't print anything. A lot of people think that it'll print, but it doesn't. It scans and it cuts. So you have to print your image on your printer and then you just run it through the machine. The machine recognizes it and then cuts it. And then that's it. It really is really simple. It doesn't get any easier than that. So I hope I answered your question. your question. Got a lot of tape stuck on here. I gotta get off. Alright. So normally, when it comes with the mat that is sticky, but it doesn't stay sticky long. So I just use some tape and tape everything down so it won't move, and that works. At first when I got this, I was like really frustrated because I was like, my mat is not sticky, and then I was like, how? I had to buy another mat. I bought a few mats until I figured out I could just use tape to keep things down. And so I've been using my non-sticky mats for a while. So we're just gonna load this up. Start that so I can recognize. While I was doing that, I'm gonna get my next sheet ready on my next thingamabobber. Oh, you're welcome, Maggie. I hope I explained it well, because sometimes I know my explanations are not that great. I don't want to confuse anybody. So now I'm just telling it to only look at where the piece of paper where the image is at on here. So I'm doing that with the stylus that is provided with the machine. And that takes a moment. And it'll give you a preview of what it's going to cut. And you just say, okay, cut, and start. And it says it's going to take 2 minutes. So if you're cutting stuff for your shop, then when it tells you how long it takes to do things, that's helpful when it comes to pricing your items, because it didn't always used to do that. I used to have to put a timer on it to kind of figure it out. So all these things that I'm cutting are up at pleasantcreations.com, and I just had them laying around and they just needed to be cut. And so I just decided, instead of just sitting here and doing this, because I probably would have tapped out already if I wasn't on with you all. So if I come on with you all, I'll normally finish whatever I'm doing. Because, you know, I don't want to look like a jerk. That the darker lines on the images, you make them in your computer. Ooh. Yes. So when you design your stuff on your computer, if you're designing your own stuff, you want to make sure that you have a good outline, and then it won't have any problem cutting stuff. So like on these, I just made sure that the outline of each of these images, it's not a black outline on here, but it's just dark enough so it knows that it's going to cut the outside of this. Now on these tags, I have to manually punch the tags because it's only going to go on the outside. It's not going to punch that inside piece there in this case, which is okay. Alright, so I'll put that in. Tell it to scan. So you can see like these pieces here. So that little white piece, I just got to punch those out, which is fine. I'll do that. I will do that later, but you can see it. Let's see how that is. It cuts things almost perfectly. So, and if I would have done this by hand, it would take me a little bit of time. especially when I have this many little pieces. So now I'm just telling it to only recognize that piece of paper with the pieces on there. Preview. Say okay. Cut. Start. Away. And then I'm preliminarily packing things up, so like that's like one packet of those. And I'm gonna get my next sheets ready to go. So it's nice to have two mats, because while one is cutting, if you have a bunch of stuff to cut, if you don't have a bunch of stuff to cut, one mat should be sufficient. But I always like to have an extra new mat in the waiting, just in case something happens. So I have cut through my mats before. So I had my blade on the wrong adjustment. And once you cut through them, they're kind of a done deal. They won't cut properly after that, so you have to get a new mat. So I try to be careful because, you know, nobody wants to keep buying mats over and over again, for sure. Alright, so that one's done. So I got all those pieces cut precisely for me. It's like your own cutting ballet. It's my cutting ballet station. Just making sure my blade is right. Alright, that's recognizing. Okay. And then they provide you with like a little stylus, so that's what I'm using on the screen. You could use your finger too, or you could buy a stylus, but I have managed to keep up with my stylus, which is amazing. In this place. In my place. But I try to put it back where it belongs every single time. Because it's so small. I even had it fall into my trash by mistake. It rolled off my desk. And I managed to spot it. I was like, oh no. The stylus is trying to get away from me. Ooh, I'm almost finished with this. Hallelujah. Getting closer. I get bored doing stuff like this. But it's stuff that needs to be done, but I still get bored. Got one more set, 3 more papers after these 2. Yippee! Good to go. I used to cut these on my Cricut machine, but it's much easier doing on the scan and cut. I know one thing that I did mention too, because somebody asked me about the comparison of the machines. On the Cricut, you have to like cut things smaller too. And on the, because it has to read registration marks and all kinds of stuff. On the Brother, you don't have to do that. It's just a simpler machine when it comes to the process of cutting stuff, for sure. as you can see. After you have your machine for a while, the blade will shift too. So I always check my blade to make sure it's in the right position. I kind of like the sound of the machine, personally. All right, now just telling the machine where to look. And okay, cut. Taping up the last set. Yippee. And I can go into my next process. My next piece of the process of packing these up. Always use a lot of tape. That way we won't have any issues. That's my story and I'm sticking to it anyway. And sometimes, like, since my mats are not that sticky, I have to kind of watch them. I have to babysit them a little bit. Make sure things are not flying all over the place. And I can fly through these pretty quickly. Once you get used to doing it, of course. So if you buy printables from somebody else, well, I'm just going to speak for myself. If you buy printables from my shop, I make sure that they're set up so you can use your scan and cut if you have one. I gotta rescan this one. Of course, on the last one, it wants to nut up on me. My last few pieces here. Because I'm going down the home stretch. Ooh, I didn't recognize my mat for some reason. Which is weird. Weird. So I use lots of tape. I tried buying tape like from the dollar store. Yeah, that tape don't last that long. Obviously. Obviously, sometimes with the dollar store, you know, you get what you pay for. So you always have to watch out for that. Got one more to tape down after this. Thank goodness. See, I can kind of see a little better. And I should write down the pros and the list cons of the Cricut as opposed to the Scan and Cut. But the Scan and Cut is much faster than the Cricut. It's actually, it doesn't sound like it, but it's actually quieter than the Cricut by just a smidge, not a lot. But it's definitely cuts a lot faster. Like this took 2 minutes, it'll probably take 4 minutes on the Cricut. Because first it has to go through and then it checks the register marks, and then after it checks the register marks, then it'll cut. And then you have to make sure that you have your paper on the mat precisely for it to do a precision cut. Because if you don't, because it doesn't scan, if you don't have it on there correctly, then your cuts will be off. But in this case, it scans and it cuts it precisely, so that makes a humongous difference. Humongous. Alright, I got one more paper to load up on here. You're learning so much. Oh, I'm happy to hear that. I'm a gadget girl, so I love getting the gadgets to do this stuff. And I always try to learn as much as I can about them. Because, you know, you don't really want to get like a one-trick pony, but sometimes it works out that way. And sometimes I'm okay with that. Alright, so I'm going to put this last one on here. Give it a tape up here. Start that to cutting. I have a lot of fabric and stuff I want to cut too, but I won't be cutting it with the machine though. I'll be cutting that manually. Because I have a lot that I want to. You know, despash is such a harsh word, but basically that's what I need to do is just clear some things out. I don't have any fabric up in the shop right now, but I will, because my thing is I have so much stuff that there's no way in a million years I can use it all. So it's best for me to just go ahead and make it available to others. Because it's easy for me to find some things, but sometimes it's hard for other people to find stuff. So I'm gonna make it easy for everybody. That one. Okay, I got one more sheet. Yippee! I'm so happy about that. I can move on to the next part of my process here. Alright. People, don't play with me. For some reason it's having a problem with this mat. All of a sudden, this is the last one. I have a feeling I need to clean this off. Just turn it the other way. Alright. Both the Cricut and the Scan and Cut, you can turn the mats as well. So that's nice. So if one part of the mat is kind of wacky, you can just turn it. But I think I've been using it a lot in one go. Might just need a little TLC. All right. Maybe. And cut. Start. Child, y'all, hold on for a second. Hold on, y'all watch that. Make sure it doesn't do anything like so, while that's finishing up, I gotta print me some packaging labels. Yay, that was my last one. That was my last one. Na, 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 na. That was my last one. And then of course they pack up very nicely so you can see. So I just close this up, put my screen down, turn it off, and and I did decorate this. I put the butterflies on there, but the butterflies are just they're wall decals. So I felt like if I wanted to get rid of the wall decals, I could pretty easily. Let me get this straight. And y'all have to excuse my dirty mat, but as soon as I put a clean mat on, then it gets dirty. So I'm talking about this mat down here. It's out of control. But it's clean, it just looks dirty. But it's not. I also have like a scraper and stuff that I can just scrape these up but my mat's just not that sticky. Alright, so now I have all of these that are still not properly packed, but they're cut, so that's a plus. And let me put my stylus back in here. I try to do that immediately so I won't forget. And then what I do is I just open up the tray part and I just stick this in here. This really do need some cleaning. And if you turn your machine over gently, there's like this, all this tape. Where did all this tape come from? Oops. I'm just gonna take a peek in here. That's this little piece that comes up. And you can see in here, that looks pretty clean. Don't look too bad. And you could just wipe that up with some glass cleaner, like glasses. I use like glasses cleaner, like those little wipes. I'll use those in there. Sometimes that helps you to be able to recognize things better too. Alright, so what I need next, y'all, the shininess and the light, I know. It's a ridiculous. I am going to print some labels that I have to cut too, but I'll cut those on the paper cutter. So I'm finding them on my computer. Let's see. These are 5x7. All right. I think I put 10 pieces of paper in there. I always count out my cardstock when I put it in. All right, so 10. All right. I think it's time for me to change my ink cartridges too. But I use my ink cartridges. When the machine tells me that the ink cartridges are almost empty or empty, that's not necessarily the truth, because I think they want you to buy cartridges a lot. I usually can get like a lot more prints out of there. Look at my desk. All right, let's do it. Get my paper cutter. So I can cut these cards. Alright, so that's what they look like. I think I might start outsourcing these because I use a lot of them. Uh-oh, my Christmas present. And use Big Mama. I like Big Mama because you can do more than one sheet at a time. And you know what the plus about using a paper cutter like this is, you don't have to replace the blade on this. Oh my goodness, I had a smaller Fisker one. It seemed like I was replacing that blade. I still have it, by the way. I was replacing that blade like every 15 minutes. That was ridiculous. Now, I wish I had like a space that had natural light. It's so dark in this room. I have to have a million lights on when I'm recording. Because it's just, and it's still, to me, the lighting is still not that great. I probably didn't need this many. I mean, I will, but I usually wait and cut these as I need them. But this is what I should be doing. Is cutting them ahead of time. Because then I'm like, oh, I'm out. I need some more of these. It drives me nutty. Even when like I'm cutting this size, then I know I'm gonna need like a smaller size too. But I'm not doing a smaller size today. I'll try to do all these at the same time. Had to use a little bit of muscles. Gotta put my back into it. gotta put my back into the piece. Almost done. That's what I have to tell myself, because I'll be ready to tap out. Like, you're almost done, Lizzie. Just keep on going. Alright, this is trash. Yeah, I'll be trying to figure out a way to keep even these small bits of white trash. White trash, that's right, I said it. Alright, let's put you back in your spot. Because my paper cutter actually has a home of its own. Alright, so just gonna turn these around a little bit. And then these will be ready to rock and roll. This way. Give them somewhat of a correct direction. These are still. And close them up. My light is so bright. It's so bright. Oh, it's just a reflection. But that's what the pack looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful packaging. I like that. My beautiful packaging. Okay, and next, let's move you out the way over here. And see, if I would have had these cut already, I wouldn't have to do all this. But nope. I don't have any sting cut. And that's what that one looks like. See if I can do this without, oh, I'm still gonna have to take these out anyway. They're not complete. Are y'all bored to tears watching me do this? Are you bored to tears? I wish I could play some music. That would be cool. But because of copyright, we cannot do that. Unfortunately. I love using these little pieces in my junk journal. These would be great in a photo album too. They make fantastic labels. Hey Gretchen, how you doing, Gretchen? I'm just chit-chatting while I'm working / creating / playing. I just got done cutting a whole bunch of stuff on my brother Scan & Cut, so now I'm just packaging up some packets of ephemera, some physical ephemera that I sell over at Pleasant Creations. How are you doing today? Oh, I guess I asked you already, huh? Are you getting ready for Christmas? I don't really have anything to get ready for, because usually the biggest thing that me and my family do for Christmas, well, we do it every Sunday anyway. What we did was just get together and have dinner, and sometimes we would watch a movie and we just chit chat and play with the kids and stuff like that. But well, I don't think we're going to be doing that this year, unfortunately. Oh, you've been doing, oh, you're doing what I should be doing. You're like a holiday ahead. I'm still like working on Christmas stuff when I should be on Valentine's by now. So that's really good. I was telling people I was comparing the Cricut to the Scan and Cut as well, because I have a Cricut also, but I don't use it as much as I used to. But I think all die cutting machines, I think everybody that is like a serious crafter should have a die cutting machine. Because it saves just a ton of time. Even if you don't have like a bunch of stuff like we do, it just saves a ton of time. It truly does. So what else are you doing today, Miss Gretchen? This one was a little wacky. Oh, you have a Sizzix also? I don't have this. Well, I guess it is a Sizzix. It's the Tim Holtz Vagabond. I believe that's Sizzix as well. Just cleaning up some of these items here. Oh, you're crocheting. Hey, Kathy D. How's it going, Kat? I'm glad to see you all here on this lovely, relaxing Saturday. It does feel really relaxing. You know what? Even though it doesn't get like cold here, I still love the winter months way more than the summer months, even in Florida. And we're just starting to get some coolness, so that's quite exciting. All right, so that's packed up and ready to go. Oh, you have a scan and cut? I just got done scanning for like 2 hours. I'm doing a scan and cut. Just got done. That's why I cut all this stuff. It took me 2 hours, but I had a lot of stuff to cut. Because I had, for some reason, I had printed out a lot of the ephemera that I physically sell. And I didn't cut them. So I'm just cutting and preparing them, so once they're purchased, they can go out. So these are not purchased items yet. They have been purchased before, but they're not for a specific order is what I'm trying to say. Right now, they're just ready to go because I like to ship my stuff out fast. I always say that because it's true. Because I know how I am. I like to get my things quickly when I order them, and so I try to make sure that I send things out quickly as well. So if it's already made, all I have to do is just pull it from my stash, and it can be off. Let's see, get in here. But I love my scan and cut. I used to scan and cut almost every day. I'm testing out some new products that I'm doing with the scan and cut also. So y'all can see while I have these out. This is called this Bedtime Stories. It has a whole bunch of cool pieces in here. Some vintage pieces that I scanned. And some of these were from some really old books I had. Like really, really old. Some of it was just like from some things that we had in our house, in one of our older houses. It's kind of cool. I like these. I use these in my books too. Little Miss Muffet, she sat on a tuffet. This one was from 1913. It was a card that I had from 1913. It was actually an invitation, but it was in the size of a card. Supermarket. This was from a photo company. Somebody's business card. From some seam bindings. Kind of cool. Kind of cool. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just chilling. And since this stuff was stuff that needed to be done, I was like, oh, I can just come on and chitty chat. While I'm getting some stuff done. Almost got them all. These I still have to punch the holes in the tag, so. Which doesn't take that long. It's kind of relaxing. Just the process of cutting and listening to the machines and stuff is kind of relaxing to me. I don't know about y'all. I need to learn how to crochet though, Gretchen. I mean, I have crocheted before, but I think anybody can crochet. But the thing is how you want your stuff to look when you get done. Like, I would love to like be able to use a pattern, or I know I didn't turn my corners correctly. I've actually made like a few blankets a long time ago. But as far as being a for real crocheter, no. Now my grandmother, she used to crochet and knit. And so as a kid, we had us a few vests, some mittens, hats, scarves, rugs. She probably could do like the whole outfit. She could do a bodysuit, I bet you. Of course, she has long been passed away, but I remember she gave, like, it was me, my brothers, and my sister cousin that y'all haven't met. And Bobby's sister, because Bobby is actually like 10 years younger than me, but her older sister is my age. So that was we were sisters before Bobby had a real sister. And so when she would come over, it would be the four of us, and we would be putting up a ruckus in the house, and then what would happen was we would get the four corners. So I call the four corners was, you go sit over there, you go sit over there, you sit over here, and you sit over here. And be quiet, because we've had enough of y'all for one day. That's how the four corners went. So when she would do that, my grandmother would actually give us like a ball of yarn, my brothers too, and she would give us a crochet needle. And she showed us how to do just a basic stitch, and that was it. And that would keep us quiet for a bit until we got released. And then we'll start all over again. And then we would get the four corners again. That was our life at grandmother's house. But my grandmother probably watched us more than she wanted to. cut these kind of wacky. Gotta clean them up just a tid. So the packaging will be nice when it gets to its recipient. Wait, still missing a piece. I got a few more packages to do. Just make sure these are cleaned up good. Even though they were cut on the scanner cut, sometimes I might have depending on how I had the paper on the mat, it might have a little bit of a wacky edge. But Kathy, you should definitely pull your scanner cut out and try it. Once you get going, it's on and popping. It's going to be the next thing since sliced bread. Let me tell it. They cut all these kind of wacky. Whew, it's hot in here. I was going to try to fire up my fireplace again, but it's just kind of warm in here. I just can't. I have like these 2 pieces of wood in my fireplace that I cannot get going for some reason. No matter what I try. Alright, so these need a little extra love. So as much as I want to tap out and not do it, I'm going to do it now. Oh, you did? Oh, you just ordered yours? Good for you, girl. You're gonna love it. You'll love your scanner cut. You're gonna be like, I should have got that a long time ago. And I was saying too, like I can only speak for my shop, but the digitals that I sell are formatted, so like if you bought the digitals, you can cut them on your scan and cut. So everybody's stuff is not like that. I had somebody that gave me like some journal cards, and they were nice journal cards and everything, but it was a digital kit. But I was like, I probably won't use that kit because I don't want to cut like each piece by hand, and it wasn't formatted so that it could be cut on the scan and cut. So that makes a big difference. So if you get some digitals from other people, you could possibly be able to cut them on your scan and cut. So that can save you some moolah. You can do your own stickers. And that's nice because everybody likes doing their own stickers. If you can. It took me, I originally bought my Cricut so that I could do stickers for my planner. Child, it took me a while to get them stickers going. But I never sold stickers because I was never good at printing them out. I could do it now, but you know, I'm in a whole different direction right now. So I'm trying to stay focused on junk journaling, which I love. Junk journaling. Yeah, I want to watch Elf, but I don't have like a CD drive on my computer. I have to watch it on DVD. So that kind of limits me. I'm trying to think, do I have it on Apple? But I don't think so. I think I have it on DVD. Because when I was working overseas, my mom sent me a book that had a CD book that had nothing but It had nothing but Christmas movies and Christmas cartoons in it. That was kind of cool. So I still have that. So I just need to get my book out. I can watch my Christmas stuff. Alright. This has one little misfit in it. And I do mean it's so small. But I'm going to sell it as a misfit. Alright, so the next thing I got to do is mark these. So I'll know what they are. I need my numbers. I have to get my SKU numbers, y'all. Because I don't know what they are off the top of my head. Uh-oh. Houston, I have a problem. Alright, y'all. Hold up. I have something else I gotta take care of now. Something is not right. Which is kind of weird. I'll take care of it in a few moments. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get off in a few minutes. I have a problem. I have a problem I need to take care of immediately. Alright, so this one. Oh, it's right there. EP. Oh. You didn't break it, Barb. How you doing, Barb? You broke it. I know what it is. Y'all can't see. 27. Alright, so this is EP 27. So I have to put these on here so I know. I mean, so if anybody else, if I have somebody helping me out, they can find stuff easily. You probably did break it, Barb. I know. Alright, this is EP 27. And then these will be ready to put away. I got to do some inventory too. So it's kind of good that I did this, so I can know what's going on. What's going on? Alright, and then next, this one, I find my SKU number. Is AP11. I'm doing good, Barb. I am doing just fine. 2, 3, 4, 5. Just trying to get organized. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what had happened was I usually don't print things out like this much stuff ahead of time. But what had happened, I already had this printed for some reason. I think these were, they weren't formatted, and so I never cut them. So as I was doing a little organization here in the Liz studio, I found a stack of stuff that just needed to be cut and then put away so it'll be ready to go out. And what do you know? It took me like 3 hours to do it. That's why I don't cut a bunch of stuff ahead of time. Because I already know it's going to take me a while. I probably should cut stuff ahead of time, but I haven't. Okay, so this one is EP64. And I got 3 of those. I also was storing things kind of in a haphazard way. It wasn't terrible, but it was a lot harder for me to just find stuff. I had to kind of rifle for things. Like, I would have all this stuff in like a container, and then I would have to kind of go through the whole container to find what I was looking for, to see, okay, I don't have any of these made, so I'll have to make this. Alright, so that goes with my shipping stuff. Alright. So, hold on, y'all. Hold on for one sec. Let me get this. I like keeping things in containers too, so that, you know, because it gets kind of dusty in here. So, y'all, hold on for one sec. Telephone, don't ring. Hold on, y'all. One moment. Ooh, y'all, it smells good in here. It smells good. I have a vanilla candle that I got from IKEA. I only got one, too. I wish I got more. Alright, so now these, I put these in this container by my SKU numbers. I actually got some up here. That's my last red one that I have up. And then I'm not selling red anymore. Red is going down. Alright. And this one is EP11. Okay, I don't have that in here, so I have some crude cards that I did. Y'all know what I did to make these separators. I just took some cardstock and cut it in half, and then I took some of the tabs that I sell in the shop and I just stapled it on here because I was like, I just want to do this quickly. So I just stabbed it on. Alright, so this is EP. Let's see, why aren't you going on here? I think these are the dollar store ones that I got. EP11. I didn't try doing no special tags or anything. I was like, I just got to get this stuff done. EP11. See, all this stuff fits in here because it is but it's like a lot of pieces in each pack. No, I'm not well organized, Barb. I'm not, because this probably has been in here for 2 years. These papers probably been in here for 2 years and they haven't been cut. So I'm kind of like you. Alright, so this is EP27. I just put this container together, like within the last 3 weeks, maybe. EP27. Because I've really kind of been really going deep when it comes to doing the organization in here. So this is one thing. Like I said, I had everything kind of tossed in a container and then I had to dig for what I wanted. But not anymore. Alright, I still have to do an inventory on some of this stuff. Well, some of it. Y'all want to see some of the stuff that's in here? Let's see. This is Bible journaling stuff. This is the Saints pack. I know it's hard to see because of the lights. My lights are crazy. Let me see if I turn this light off because this is the one. My lights, they're driving me crazy with brightness. Let's turn the brightness. Nope, that's not it. Wrong one. That's me. Wrong camera. Wrong cam. There we go. Let's see what the settings are on this. Turn this down a tidbit. Oh, thank you. You have a serious challenge for me in Canada. It's too cold up there, okay? And then, y'all might not know, I have a lot of different products, but this is Bible journaling too. This is for Bible tabs. And this one has like a, turn the light back on now. I adjusted, oh yeah, it's better. So this is Bible tabs, and it has like different flowers and stuff on. This is the mini tabs, but I sell them in the regular size and the mini tabs as well. So I have the mini tabs stored in here. Here's some more Bible tabs. Also, this dang on focus drives me nuts. Where are you? Oh, advance. Where's my autofocus at? Oh, there we go. Yeah, the Bible tabs are cute. Here's some more Bible tabs. In the florally colors. What's this? Oh, more Bible tabs. These have to be packed up. And they all come with like a list of the books of the Bible. So even the standard sizes come with that. I'll put y'all back in the right place. And these are butterflies, but I think I'm discontinuing these. These are butterfly die cuts. So I have to look. They might be dropped out of the shop already. And then I have, this is from the Halloween digital kit. I printed these out. Those are pretty cool. Halloween. Even though Halloween's over, that's Halloween also. Halloween. And then we have botanicals. That's from a digital kit. Botanical digital kits. I know you can't even see what's in there, right? And then this I just cut. This is from Bedtime Stories ephemera packs. And this is Travel ephemera pack that I just packed up. These are photo, and these are going away as well, but I'm gonna turn them into, all of these are gonna turn into digital kits, and then you can still get them. You can still buy the physical kits, but right now, that's just what I have printed up. Let me turn this down, hold on. Okay. And then I have one, this in red, and this is the last one, and these will not be digital, or I don't know. I think they're just gonna be in vintage, and that's the last one. Once that's sold, it's gone. Then we have guest checks, which I love using guest checks in the journal. Hey, 77. Oh, I got 2 of these. Hold up. Is that 77 or 11? Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out. And what's this? Oh, and then we have some what's-he who's it Atlas pages. And these are like some little quote cards. I think it's like 12 of them inside of here. And we got some blue tickets. We got some coat checks. These are cool to use too. And we have some tickets. These are like some heavyweight tickets too. Tickets. And then these are being discontinued as well. They're going to be digital kits. And they're like tags. I call it, they're like romance tags. And they have some flowers in there and some tags and some small journal cards. I actually just reduced the price on those because I want to discontinue them. And then this is some vocabulary cards. There's a bunch of them here. I think these are French vocabulary cards. They're vintage French vocabulary cards. Got some of those. And these are some National Geographic game cards. I think I'm going to discontinue those too. And I'm discontinuing a bunch of stuff. And these are some, these are like bird and fowl images that can be used in journaling. It's a whole pack. This is the same. It's birds as well. And that I painstakingly got out of some encyclopedias. And then this is already in digital form as well. And these are vintage vocabulary words that I created. And then we have some Scrabble towels. Of course, these are cardstock. They're not the actual Scrabble towels, but this is a digital kit also. I use those for everything. I love making paper clips out of those. And then we got some vellum mushrooms that need to be packed up. And then we have some pins. And we have some inventory tags. Yeah, this is just the stuff that I have packed up. Some stuff I don't have packed up. And I still have some of the scrap pieces, and I tried to put them together in color, so that's the blue ones. And then we have purple. We got some purple colors in there. And these are some note cards on some flower doodles, and they're different colors, and they have different stitchings on them. They're great for using it in the junk journal. You can see some there, and they all have sewing on them. So I took one for the team, and I might use these on my Christmas cards too, because you can use them to put your addresses on, and then just glue that onto the envelope. So that's kind of cool, and they're different colors in each pack. And we have a pack of Boyd's. This is from one of the Audubon books, and I just got some packages of different birds that you can use, like in your collages or cards and stuff like that. So those are kind of cool. Yeah, the Scrabble towels are awesome. And then these are some of my favorite ones. And these are a digital kit as well. But of course, like I said, you can buy everything in physical form. But these are seed packets that I created. And I think we created these together. And then I made them digital. So you can see. They're cute little note cards. Get in there. And then we have, yeah, sorry for like going crazy on the camera here. Then we have the tabs. That's like some of the tabs that I have on here. I'm using them. I use these for everything too. Tabs. And I have mini and standard. Those were the standard ones. And then I have, these are what I use to make my little shrinky dink dangles. Let's see if I can get one of my books down. So here's a book that has, I know it's kind of not focused, but I had to turn the focus off because it was driving me crazy. Where's the focus? Where is the card? Here we go. So I made those with those little plastic pieces. So those are kind of cool. Alright, get back up here, book. Those. And then I have a lot of stencils I don't even have up in the shop yet. So I got this stencil, number 6. This is my last number 4. I thought I was out, because this was a popular stencil. Number 4, got 1 left, and I probably won't have those for a while. Got number 3 here. And what's this one? It's number 18. And there's some that I don't have in here yet, because I'm going to have to do a separate box. This is C9. So it has like banners and stuff on there. So that's all I have in this box here. Let me just check this one more time. This is, I think my glasses was doing me wrong. Okay, so it's 11. Alright, so this goes here. Alright, so that's all of those. And we'll just stick these pieces in the front here. And then just to keep them, because I do not like stuff to get dusty. I don't think I've ever bought anything from anybody and the stuff was dusty though, but it gets so dusty down here. Ugh. Okay. Alright, you all. And then back to my dirty surface here. Don't look at my dirty surface. I'm going to cover it up with Pleasant Creation stuff so y'all can't look at my dirty surfaces. Actually, I'm going to take that off. So Y'all will only see me. Y'all look at me. I'm all sweaty and stuff. Just ridiculously sweaty. Okay. So I have been on here. Let me see how long I've been on. I don't even know. I've been on here for 3 hours. 3.5 hours cutting stuff. But now I can say that's one thing that's check off my list, because I think I had that on my list. So that's awesome sauce. And I know I was telling y'all also, hey Sally, how you doing? Oh, you would like all the bird pictures? The bird pictures are cool. And of course I have a lot that are not up in the shop. Because y'all, did y'all see how long it took me to do this? And then just think about designing this stuff. My hat's off to any shop owners or creatives that do stuff like this. But this is my planner. I have videos where I'll show you that I'm using like 5 planners or whatever. So I'm using one planner, and I took everything out to start from the beginning. And actually this little notebook right here doesn't have anything in it. I used to have, I think I might still have a few notebooks up, but I discontinued these two. But these have like a coffee dyed paper in the inside of them. So these are cool. So I'll be using these for myself. It'll probably get covered up though. And so that's what I have for my planning right now. So I'm kind of rebuilding the way that I'm planning things. So and what I did is I just took some white paper and I folded it in half so that it will fit, and I cut it so it will fit inside of inside of here. And before, I try to make inserts for myself or purchase inserts, I said, let me figure out what I need or what I want for my planning. Start all over again. Because some things I had in my little built-up system I wasn't using, and y'all know how it goes. So I'm just trying to make it and figure out the things that I can use for myself. So right now, it's kind of just looking kind of sparse in here. And I do have like a tracker that I started doing, and I didn't worry about making the line straight or anything. And I did my month for December, and I already decided that I'm going to use one of these books for just months only. Yeah, so this is a whole nother video by itself, but I just wanted to give y'all a peek. I might do a detailed video about this later. And then this is like just some journaling that I did, and of course y'all know I had to do a little decorating and coloring, because that's what I do. That's what I do. And I got a shopping list in here, and I have a master to-do list, and of course I put some die cuts in here because y'all, this is like planner junk journal style. And then and then the other night, actually was it yesterday? I don't think it was yesterday, but I took out like some scrap cardstock, and I just took out my little sidekick, and I found the smallest dies that I had, and I just sat here and just made cuts. As a matter of fact, where are y'all at? Oh. So I just sat here, and here they are right here. I just made cuts, and while I was watching TV and whatnot, you can see. And I just kind of stuck them in here, but they're going to go into my little system that's next to me. So I made like some butterflies. I love these butterflies, y'all. I love this die cut. But I will say, using the die cutting machine with the metal die cuts is like it's a slow process to me. And I made some tickets, and I already used some of this stuff. the hearts. I like the way the hearts came out. So I just, and that was from like some serious scrap, like the scraps were like this big. You can see the scrappity scraps. And so I just put like some of them in my book too. Since they were sitting on my desk, I was like, okay, I'm going to use those. You're still on November. Let's see, I have some suggestions to myself as to, like, I want to do like this page right here. I just started this yesterday. And I'm just writing like some highlights of the things I did, and then I can go back and I can journal about them, because you know how you forget about stuff. Like you want to, like, I should be able to still do a December daily, but it's just going to take me probably into January to get it done. But if I have like my highlights and I have pictures and stuff, I can go back and print the pictures and I can look at the highlights, and I can go more in depth on my junk journaling for December, if y'all know what I mean. And then I have my calendars that I started putting together. That's January. And I just drew the box. I actually have a stencil that I sell, and I actually took the stencil down because I had to change materials and I have to redo the pictures and stuff. So the stencil is coming back up, but I love that stencil because look, I could do it, and you could use it in any journal actually. But I'll show you guys that once it's complete. I just gotta put it back up. So I'm doing all my calendars now in my book. So this, I'm gonna have one book like this that's gonna just be calendar. So I already know that. So the rest I don't know yet. So I'm still working on that. And that's it. That's all I have in here for the restart. I'm gonna call this my planner restart. That's it. Just planner restart. And I'm gonna take it from there for my planning. But like I said, I always do better when I plan stuff out. So we're gonna get it together, y'all. All right, I've been on quite a long time, you all. So I am going to go ahead and shove off and get some of this sweat off my brow and just be lazy for the rest of the afternoon or evening. Because what time is it? Y'all, it's 4:50. All right, so I will see you all on the next video or over at Junk Journal Buddies. And thank you all for hanging out with me for like forever today. Because I know it was pretty boring, but you guys are my people, so y'all get me. All right, so I will talk to you all later. Love, peace, and hair grease from your sweet Lotus Blossom and lovable Lizzie. Have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.